Hi crew, hey, I'm Captain Doug Ward. I run the Walleye Xpress on the Saginaw Bay. I've got express fishing charters. We run the Saginaw Bay in the summertime, the Detroit River on the month of April, and then last part of August, first part of September, we're over in Ludington chasing salmon over there. So express fishing charters, my name's Captain Doug Ward. Your job today is to listen up, because I talk fast, so listen quick. Listen up, catch up, keep up, and then stay up. We'll talk about those in a minute. What I want to talk about today is how I run my offshore planer boards on the boat. I run the standard releases, just the orange on the front and the OR16s on the back with the peg in it. What I do is this. I've got my rod here. If you're a right-handed person, I tuck this in my left armpit. The reason I do that is to keep this line right here taut. If it's not, and I'm trying to twist this to put it in my release, it's not going to work too well. So I grab this. Look how I'm holding my board. I've got 4 fingers. Good Lord gave me 4 fingers. 2 of them are holding onto that orange release like this. The other 2 now are still usable. So I grab that, I hold that line with my thumb and pointer finger. I twist that 4 times. This line is typically taut out the back with a bait pulling on it, dragging in the water. And so I take that and I put it in that front orange clip about halfway back. Don't put it too far back in there because it won't come out. I take this line now that goes to my bait. I grab my rear red OR16 and I put it behind the peg. It needs to go behind the peg because if it does not, we're going to go pick everything up and go chase it down because it's coming off. I give that sure there's a little bit of slack there so when a fish hits that, he can pull that paddle flag down. And there we are. Now we're set. Now I left that off the side of the boat. When we see that flag go down and that board drop out of line, we're just going to give this, we're not snagging salmon. I'm not going to rip on this. I'm going to give it a snap. There it is. When it goes snap, the water catches that keel on the front, turns the board backwards, comes to the center of my boat. The reason I wanted to do that, I don't want it back in the spread on my starboard side. I don't want it over to my port side. I want it back in the middle of the boat. It comes up the middle. We can net that fish and get it right back out there. So that's how I run my boards on the Walleye Xpress. We can run 5 to 7 aside, depending on how many people we have on and how the fish are doing for the day. So anyway, guys, thanks for coming along. All right, I told you on our wrap up, we cover the catch up, the keep up, and the stay up. To wrap up, what we covered on this thing, we covered 3 different things. We talked about wrapping that line 4 times, sliding it into the middle of the front orange clip. We talked about putting it into the rear red clip. Make sure that goes behind that peg. Without it, it's going to come out. And we're going to have to go back and pick that board up. We're going to lose that. And then the last thing, then when this thing is out there, it gets pulled back because there's a fish on the other end. We're going to just give that a quick snap. And that snap's going to pop that out of that front release. It's going to turn, go to the middle of our boat. We're going to bring that board back in with that fish on behind it. We're going to net him. It stays out of our spreads on the left and the right side of the boat. And now to keep up, you can do this. Give this a couple tries. I'm going to come back in the summertime and I'm going to do it on the boat. Make sure you come back for that. I want you to stay up because the next video I do, we're going to talk about why my baits, I run only the rear hooks on these smaller baits. Guys, until next time, stay tuned.